This conference will now be recorded.
So yesterday we discussed about the cloud computing. It is a concept. Everything through internet, whatever we do, there are different types of services: software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Those are the different types of services can be offered by using the cloud computing. Okay, so these three services are offered by using the cloud computing concept. Cloud means internet. So everything we use all these services through internet. Here mainly we are focusing on the our course is for Salesforce. Salesforce is one of the company. By following the cloud computing concept, they are offering two types of services. So one is software as a service. The other one is platform as a service. If any client they register with Salesforce as a software, they are providing the CRM applications, and also they are providing the platform to enhance those applications as per the client requirements. These are the two main services mainly Salesforce offers, and we should know about the CRM. So yesterday we discussed about the CRM process, customer relationship management. So how the project starts. So if you take many clients in the market, so how the project starts, and how the procedure, where exactly we need to work, all those things today I'm going to explain. So let me take one more example. Yesterday, I took AT&T, one of the client, as an example. Today, so let's deal with this HP, one of the company. They provide products. So it is a company who sell products. It can be HP computer, printer. There are many computer accessories they are selling in the market. So how we know about? So let's say HP released one of the latest laptop. So how we know about that? So all those things to starting with introducing the product in the market until they sell the product, and also after selling the product to provide the support, all the information in an organized way will be captured as part of the CRM, customer relationship management. So as part of the CRM, mainly we see pre-sales activities and the post-sales activities. Pre-sales means before selling the product in each and every stage, what is happening. So post-sales is for the service. After selling the product, how they are providing the support for the product in case of any issues and all those things. So as part of the sales, first any product if they launch in the market, they start with the campaign. So assume that campaign is a table. In the campaign, let's say they are introducing one of the latest HP laptop with high configuration. How people in the market knows about that? HP company, they'll set a target. They'll keep a budget for the campaigning. So let's say they want to spend $20,000 to introduce the product in the market. So when they have $20,000 budget, so how they are going to spend? So maybe TV advertisements. So let's say they are spending $2,000, right? So let's say for paper advertisements, they are spending, so let's say $3,000. So maybe internet advertisements, there are different ways. So maybe email marketing, in different ways they'll try to spend revenue and introduce the product in the market. Okay, so once they introduce the product in the market, so what is the advantage for this company? People in the market, they will try to respond by seeing these advertisements. So let's say I'm one of the individual. I want to buy one of the latest laptop. So maybe by seeing the advertisements, so I might look into the product details and I might try understanding about the product and the features about that, right? So it can be an individual or it can be a company. So maybe HP is not directly going to sell the products in the market. In between, there are distributors, resellers. So when you go to market in one of the shop, right, we are going to purchase. That might not be the company, direct HP company. It can be a retailer or it can be a distributor. So those companies, let's say one of the distributor, they want to purchase 1,000 laptops of HP latest model. Okay, so they'll also respond. So when the response comes for the advertisements, that we call as lead. So lead can be an individual person or it can be a person working in a company. So let's say one of the distribution company, let's say the company name ABC distribution company. Behalf of this company, let's say one of the user Rajesh. So this user is contacting HP. So they have a requirement. They want to purchase 1,000 quantity of the HP laptop and they want to sell to the customers. So now in the lead, we have both company information as well as the person who is working in the company, right? So now once the lead is generated from HP company side, they maintain some employees to talk to the leads. One of the employee of HP, they call to the lead, Rajesh belongs to this company, and check for the interest. So let's say this person is showing interest and understand the other details and discount and all those things. So then since lead is showing interest, lead will be converted into account, contact, and opportunity. So here account means the company, the distribution company, ABC distribution company. The company information stores into the account. If someone asks what is account, it is a company. Right? In this example, ABC distribution company, the information will be stored into this account. Right? So let's say one of the company TCS, right? So this company also need laptops for their employees. So they want in huge quantity, right? Let's say, so they want 3,000 laptops, right? So one of the admin team, one of the employee from admin team from TCS, they'll try to approach, right? Let's say Shaker is one of the person, right? So this is one more lead. So this person is the employee working in that company, right? So if this person is also showing interest behalf of their company, that also will be converted into account, contact, opportunity. Here account means either this one or this one will store into the account. Contact means the person who is working in the company. Let's say if you convert this one, so here the company in the account we store this ABC distribution. In the contact we store the Rajesh, that person information who is working in that company, right? So here contact is nothing but maybe the employee or the person who is working, who is approaching behalf of that company. Okay, and also the opportunity. Opportunity means it is a deal, right? So here maybe employee or person can say, understand. So opportunity is a deal. What they want? Maybe this company need 100, maybe 1,000 laptops. So this company, they have a requirement to purchase 3,000 laptops for that company. So that is a deal. Okay, so once the opportunity is generated, it's not that they are going to buy. So first they ask for the quotation. Since they are taking 3,000 laptops, how much discounts they are providing, how they are going to provide the support, All those things they talk to the sales team of this HP company. If they're satisfied, if this company is satisfied, then only they'll take. Otherwise, they won't take. So let's say this company is satisfied, right? So the opportunity will be generated for HP company. So let's say this company is not satisfied with the whatever the discount this HP company is offering, right? They lose that opportunity, right? So it can be once the opportunity is generated, they might lose or they might win. If they won the opportunity, so then so money will be generated for this HP company. The next phase is right after selling the product. The next phase is service. Let's say when they purchase 3,000 laptops, there might be a problem for some of the laptops. When there is a problem, immediately they'll approach the HP customer support. HP side, for each and every request about the support, they create as a case. So case means how we understand it is a support activity. Right? Any support, it can be a problem related to a product, or they are requesting for bill, they are requesting for the installation, or it can be anything. The support activity information will be captured as part of the case. And also sometimes for the some of the frequently asked questions and some of the common problems, they also publish knowledge articles. It's one of the other table. It's like that. All these things they maintain as part of the service. So here, whatever we are understanding is at very high level. For now, if you understand this, it is sufficient. So this is the CRM process. Based on this process, Salesforce company, they are offering 3 applications. So if you see here, marketing, mainly as part of the marketing, this campaigning and generating the leads. That's what they do. They recruit marketing representatives. Mainly they use the marketing application. And they maintain sales representatives. Mainly they deal with the opportunities. When they deal with the opportunity, they should know this opportunity belongs to which company, who is the point of contact. So what is that person role in that company? So all those details they understand and try to talk and convince. So mainly sales representatives, they use the sales application. And support, they maintain the support team, support representatives. They receive the calls from the customer or mails when they get the mails or when they see the cases in the Salesforce application. They will try to get the solution by interacting with the employees, and they close the case successfully as soon as possible. That's what they do as part of the service application. Mainly deals with these things. So these are the applications in general. Let's say HP company, to manage all this information, they are using Salesforce, right? HP company. So maybe so in the Salesforce, they are using all these 3 applications: marketing, sales, and the service. All these 3 applications. And instead of, so along with using the standard applications, they also have requirements to modify. To modify these applications, we have the platform, the Force.com platform from Salesforce. So by using that Force.com platform, it is possible to enhance these applications as per the customer needs. So now, so what I want to explain, let's see how the project starts. Let's say for now, HP company, they are using the CRM application from some other platform, or let's say they are starting newly with the one of the new application. They are looking for best CRM software in the market. Okay, so first the procedure, what they will do, they identified that Salesforce is #1 Salesforce, CRM platform. First, no need to pay anything. So what they'll do, they go to the Salesforce website. So here you can see different editions. These are the Salesforce editions. Based on the requirement, they'll talk to sales team of the Salesforce. They can talk and so what is the requirement, how many employees they have, and how many. So it is the license is per user license. So let's say after taking the license with Salesforce, HP company said they need access for 1,000 employees. 1,000 user licenses they need to purchase. And also we have editions. There are different editions are there. So they'll talk to sales team and decide which edition is suitable and what is the budget and all those things. So let's say after talking to Salesforce sales team, they decided to go with unlimited edition. So for that, no need to pay anything. Simply they can click on try for free and they can fill the form and register. In few minutes, they will get the Salesforce account and they can start using the application. So that's what will happen. So after 30 days free trial, if they like, then they'll talk to the sales team and subscribe and use the paid application. So that's what will happen. So let's say now, initially, maybe let me take one of the user. So let's say, so from HP company side, so HP company, so they want CRM app. Let's say Nikita is one of the person responsible to get the CRM application. Nikita is one of the primary person, plus there are 5 team members. So this team, they are responsible to get the CRM application for HP company. So let's say this team, they talk to Salesforce sales team and they identified unlimited edition. They registered for unlimited edition. So whenever they register, so whenever they sign up, whatever the account they get, that we call as production, right? Production means the live environment where the application runs. All the end users of the HP company, they are going to log into that production environment and use the application. So that is the production. Production is the live application. So when they register, so one of the user needs to register primarily. So whatever they get is the production. So HP company production. So when they get the production, what they get? They get the server space. They get default server space. They get inbuilt database. They get inbuilt web pages and everything ready-made they get. That's what will happen. So now only one user registered, right? Here in this, so one of the primary user, Nikita is one of the primary user. She can access all the standard applications, marketing, sales, and the service, and all those applications. She can access. In general, primary user will be the system admin. Okay. Going forward, we'll understand about these permissions. So in general, when primary one of the user registers, that person will be assigned to system admin. That means system admin can access everything, almost everything as part of the production. So whatever the environment. Okay. So this user, let's say, can create few more users. So maybe this user knows the first name, last name. By providing those details, she can also create few more users. Let's say she created 5 more users to give access to the colleagues. When she create the users, what will happen? They will get one email. Whatever the email she configure for the users, those users will be notified with email and they can set their own password. Each and every user, they can set their own password, log into this production environment. Okay, here this production is a same place. All these users, when they log in, they will land into same environment where marketing, sales, and service applications will be there. Okay, so it's not that a separate account for it's not that completely they see something separate. Okay, the data will be common, the campaigns, the leads, the accounts, the contacts. When these users logs in, everyone they can access all those things as soon as they have permissions. Okay, that's what will happen. So now to see the to experience how really we do that, I don't want to register here. If you register here, it is 30 days free trial. After that, if we don't make the payment, it will expire, right? So for us, if anyone, if they want to start with Salesforce for our practice purpose, so anyone means if you want to start as a administrator, right? Administrator or developer or end user. End user means the employees of in this example, the employees of HP company, they are the end users, right? And administrators or developers going forward, I'll explain. In few minutes, I'll explain what is that and what are the roles. So everyone, anyone, if they want to start with Salesforce, you need to go to this website, okay, developer.salesforce.com and register. I recommend all of you to register here. For our class purpose, I register for one of the account. On day to day, I log into this account and I explain as per the syllabus, and also I give access to this account. So going forward, I'll explain how you can access this account. But you should also create your own account similar to how I am registering now. Okay, and whatever the practice you need to do in our own account. Whatever the access I give to the class account is only for the reference purpose. So what I configured in the session, to refer that, it will be useful, whatever the access I give. But all of you should have your own account by visiting this website. Click on sign up and register for the account. So by tomorrow, all of you, so if you register, I think it is good. Okay. So open this website and strictly only register here. Okay. So what is happening? So going forward, so here I am saying production, right? So to log into this production, once we create the account and once the production is there, in general, to log into the production environment, the URL is login.salesforce.com. Here also you'll see try for free. People are trying to click here and register, are trying to click here and register. If you register here, it is 30 days free trial, and after 30 days, it will expire. So whatever you practice, you will lose all those things. So don't register here. Okay. Only go to this website and click on sign up and register. It is lifetime, right? Unless you are not active until 6 months, they will remove. But before removing, they'll send email. So that's why I recommend you to provide the email which you check regularly. So I'm seeing people create new email and they don't check that email. Even going forward, there are certifications and all those things. If you give some secondary email or something you don't check, you will face problems in future. So I recommend you to give the email, whatever the email you check regularly. So please try to register with that. Okay, so with the same email address, you can create multiple Salesforce accounts. That is possible. I'll explain. Okay, so for registration, you need to go to this website and click on sign up. Okay, so for this class purpose, So maybe I need to take some name. Maybe let's say Naveen is one of the name I'm taking. And email address, I'm giving my email address. You can give your name, first name, last name, or whatever you feel. It's not that exact name you need to give. Some nicknames also you can give. And email and the role, you can choose anything. I'm choosing this. You can choose anything. It is not a problem. And the company, so let's say if you don't want to give any company name, you can give something whatever you want. Okay, you can also give as home or maybe so whatever you feel you can give. Okay, so let's say I'm giving one of the company name, this company name. You can give company whatever you like, and country based on the country we can choose. So based on this selection, the server space in one of the Salesforce server we get the account that will be decided based on the country whatever we choose here. So when you choose United States, we get the account in one of the server located in North America. Okay, if you choose maybe Australia, maybe I think in Australian region some servers are not there. Maybe European region. So whichever is near to that, those servers in those servers we get the server space. So here I'm giving India. So in Asia Pacific region, whatever the servers are there, in that we get the space. So that's what will happen. And here the username, in general, the username should be in general first name dot last name at the rate some company.com. Okay, but we can give anything, something at the rate something.com you can give. Okay, so maybe I'm giving Naveen.d at the rate the company name I can give, or it can be anything. So for me, I'm maintaining like this. So in general, that is for company, but you can give anything. So maybe to make it very simple, I'm giving like this, right? This is the username I'm giving. So, but it should be in the email format. And click on sign up. Sorry. So once you click on sign up, it might take few minutes, maybe 5 minutes also. Wait until 5 minutes. Click on sign up. We'll get email. So here you should not give the wrong email address. Okay. So for sure you need to give the correct email address. It will send email to that email address, whatever we give, and we need to set the password. So don't think that we can give some email which is not there. Okay. Email address should be correct. And we need to check the email and we need to set the password. But it will take some time to get. Maybe wait for 5 minutes to get it. Okay. Meanwhile, so let's try to understand the other features. Now, if you see, we registered, even when we registered for developer edition account, whatever the account we registered is developer edition account, which is a free account. So what is the difference? If you register for the paid account, it is 30 days free trial, but developer edition is lifetime. So why they are providing lifetime? So how it is different when compared to the paid account? So some of the points here. So developer edition. So developer edition is also like a production, right? By default, it is, you can treat this as a production. Okay. Sorry. So we can treat this one as a production, and you cannot create the test environments. So in general, why we create the test environments? When we develop directly, we should not develop in the production. So we have to develop in sandboxes. Sandboxes means the test environments. After doing testing, then only we need to deploy to production. That's the rule. Okay. So one of the limitation with the free account, we cannot create sandboxes. Sandboxes means the test environments where we develop and do the testing and all those things. So it is not possible. That is one of the limitation. One of the other limitation, the space to store the data, right? Only 5 MB data can be stored. So that's very, very less. Okay. So that is one of the limitation. So really, if the company want to use this, they cannot use because it's very, very less. For sure, they need to pay and register to have the more space. So this is one of the limitation. And also the number of users which we create. Only 2 users with Salesforce license. Okay, again, for users also there are different types of licenses. Based on the license, the applications, whatever they can access, the features, whatever they can access in Salesforce organization will be decided. Okay, so Salesforce is one of the highest license. If someone is having this license, almost they can access everything, all features of the Salesforce. Okay, so with this license, we can only create 2 users. So like this, these are some of the limitations when we deal with the developer edition account. Okay, that's why it is lifetime. So as soon as at least once in 6 months, if you log in, you can maintain this one for lifetime. And also when they deactivate, so they'll send multiple emails to your email address. All you need to do is, if you did not log in, just log in for once, and so that it will be maintained for next to 6 months. It's like that. Okay, so these are some of the limitations. Now let's go back and let me check my email. I might receive the email now. I'm checking my email. I got the email. If you see, this is the email I got. So welcome to Salesforce, verify your account. When you register, you will also get like this. And so why they are taking time? They are generating some unique URL. So this is a unique URL. So nowadays, from last few months, they started generating the unique URL. For that, they are taking some time. Okay. So, and this username, this is the username we give, and we need to set the password. Click on verify account. And here we need to set the password. I think it is opening. Yeah, I think it is taking time. So meanwhile, any questions, anyone so far?
Srinu, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, so open. So here, let's put the password. So I'm giving password as sfdc@123. Confirm password also sfdc@123. And maybe a security question. Maybe I'm giving like this. And click on change password. So that's it. We logged in. Now we have the Salesforce account, which is lifetime. I'll use this account to explain day to day throughout this course for the next few weeks. So when you log in for the first time, you will see like this. So this is the account. Now if you see, right, in one of the server, we got the space. In which server we got the space, all those things also we can see. to show that, so let me, once you log in left side, you will be in the setup area. So left side, search for company information. So all you need to do is no need to by heart the navigations. Just left side, search for company. You will see the company information. Click on this company information. Here we see what is the type of organization we have. It is a unlimited edition or enterprise edition or developer edition. So what is the capacity of the data we can store? All those details we can see here. Okay, so this is the account. This is the company name. And this person is the primary contact for this company. And if you see here, user data space, if you see, click on view, the space is only 5 MB, right? Only 5 MB, and the files, you can add some attachments and all those things. Up to 20 MB you can. So these are some of the limitations. And also if you see already current data storage. So all these are the standard tables. All these are the standard tables provided by Salesforce, right? So you are seeing some information. So you are seeing some data occupied because they provide some test data. The test data occupying some space. Okay, so now let's go back. And also you see this company, what is the default time zone? So what is the default currency? So all those things you can see here. And so again, click here.
Shino,
Yeah.
typically in organization, how many users may be there? Like,
it is based on the company.
uh-huh.
It's based on the company. Let's say HP company is a very big company. Okay. So they might have 5,000, 6,000 users.
Oh, okay.
5,000 users, they log in and access this Salesforce account. Okay. And also, there are different types of users. Okay. So sometimes HP company, they'll also have partners, right? For partners also, they want to provide access. Again, those different types of licenses are there. When we progress with our course, I'll explain. Okay. So it can be 40,000 users are also there for HP company because they have huge number of distributors and retailers and partners. Those are the partners. So let's say one of the startup company, they might be having only 4 licenses because that company is very small, right? So it's based on the company. We cannot, in a generic way, we cannot say this many users should be there. Okay, it can be 10, it can be 100, it can be 170, something like that. Okay. So based on the need, they have to purchase the licenses and take. It's like that.
So typically there'll be one admin maintaining these many, or there'll be multiple. Like if there's HP, then
so
like
HP, they have huge number of users. I think one admin is not sufficient. They will be maintaining many. So they divide based on the regions and different factors and manage. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, when we progress with the course, we'll discuss more. Okay. So here at company level, this is the default time zone. Going forward, I'll explain how we change this and all those things. Okay. By default, it is United States English, and default currency is USD. Going forward, we'll also see how we can enable multi-currency or change the default currency, all those things. Okay. And the licenses, Salesforce license, only there are 2 users, right? Already one user, Naveen, we registered with Naveen. That user is assigned to Salesforce license. Remaining only 1 license we have, but other licenses, if you see, we have Salesforce platform license. There are 3 licenses. So what is the difference? So it is too early to understand that. going forward, we'll discuss what is the difference and how they access all those things. Okay. I think someone is not in mute. So if you don't have any questions, please stay on mute. Yeah. So now let's go back. Let me try to show you the users, the user, whatever we created. To see the users, go to users and click on users. We know that Naveen is the user. We registered. Naveen is the primary user. But since it is a free account, right? Developer edition account, which is a free account. You see some users are automatically created by Salesforce. This is charter expert, user integration, user security. All these users are automatically created by Salesforce. So as a test data, because it is a free account, so just randomly, I mean by default, even if you register also, we'll see these things. Okay, so but we can create our other users. Let's say this primary user want to give access to one of the colleague. This user can click on new user and give the first name, last name, email address, and what is the username. All those things we can keep and we can see. So that the email will be sent to this user, whatever the email we give to that email, Salesforce will send email. That user need to check the email similar to this and set the password. And that user can log in with his own password. So that's what will happen when we create the other users. So for now, I am not creating. Okay. So let me go back to that company information. I want to explain in which server we got the space. So if you go back here and if you see here, our organization edition is developer edition, which is a free account. And the instance is AP24. So AP means Asia Pacific. In that region, in the 24 server, we got the space. So where exactly we can see the available Salesforce servers? Okay, so for that, so there is a website called trusted.salesforce.com. If you go to this website, we need to click on status.salesforce.com. So nowadays, Salesforce company, they acquired many other companies, Tableau, Pardot. So maybe MuleSoft is other company, they acquired Heroku. So there are many companies. So for now, as part of this course, mainly we are focusing on this Salesforce. So click on this status.salesforce.com. You can select Salesforce services. Here we can see all the available servers. If you see AP0, AP3. So all these are the servers available. Maybe AP means Asia Pacific region. And if you scroll down, EU means European region. These are the servers located in European region. And NA means North America. So North America region servers. And along with that, so you also see CS. CS means customer sandbox. Sandbox means test environment. So directly we are not going to work with the production. We work in the sandbox for the development or for testing purpose. So when any sandbox is created, the sandbox will be located in one of these CS servers. Okay. So maybe by seeing this, we don't know this is located in which region, we don't know. So how we know? So let's say if I choose only America, it show North America region servers, right? North America region servers. So if you see here, so all these are located in North America. Even you see CS27 and all these are in the North America. You can filter like this. European country and other continents. So you are seeing some of the servers here in the Asia Pacific. So these are the servers available. So like this. Now if we see our account, whatever we have registered, we got the space in AP24 server. So if you see the health of the server, right? How the server performance and all those things by if you see these symbols, green color means it is available and the health is good. So performance degradation, there are some there is a maybe some slowness with the server. Maybe the server is not working, so we cannot log in at all. So that is this problem. So this is the maintenance.
Uh,
Yeah.
One thing, these servers we cannot select, right? It will automatically be allotted to if we create user or if we create company, right?
Yeah, correct. So these are not in our hands. Salesforce will decide based on the country, whatever we choose. It's not in our hands. Okay, because I choose India, I got the space in AP24. Maybe if you choose USA, maybe you might get in NA17 or something like that. But we cannot decide which server we want. Salesforce will internally allocate. Okay. So
Okay,
now,
got it. Got it.
so I'm opening the server, right? AP24 server, whatever. So we got the space. In this server, there may be other customers also. Let's say tomorrow, if you register, if you choose India, you might also get the space in the same server. Maybe one of the company in India. So let's say if they register for their company, they might also get the space in the same server. In the same server, multiple customers' information will be maintained by Salesforce. But if the information, multiple companies' information, if they store in the same server, how they maintain the difference, how they identify. So there is a Salesforce organization ID. Okay, for each customer, when they register, they allocate with a unique ID. So by using this unique ID, they maintain, they make the separation and they make sure that one of the company information cannot be accessible by the other company. So all those things Salesforce will take it. So that's what will happen internally. And also if you see the history, so what happened, all those things, maybe maintenance. So we discussed that Salesforce, they released 3 versions, right? Winter, spring, and summer. At present, spring version is going on. Spring 21 version is going on. This server is updated with this spring 21, and also they install some patch. So this is the latest version. So let's say I want to know summer 21, the latest version, when they are going to update. So once they update, all the customers, whoever is having account in this server, everyone they will be applied with that new version, right? So here you can also see upcoming when they are going to maintain. I think it is taking some time. Yeah, any questions, Meanwhile?
Srini, Adarsh here.
Yeah,
Srini, since the name itself saying it's a developer edition, right? Can we do admin related task over here or we can't?
yeah. So the name says that developer edition, but it can be used for administrator or the tester or the developer or end users also.
Okay.
Yes.
And second thing, so this is the one. So currently all over the world they're using the same platform, right? Spring 21 patch 16.1. So this is the version going all over the world.
Yeah. So when they update the version, it's not that at a time they'll apply for all the servers, right? They have
Okay.
hundreds of servers.
Mhm.
They schedule for some of the servers. This is the date they are going to update, like that. Okay. So you say we cannot say that in all servers the same patch version is there. Okay, maybe for some of the version, some of the servers, the patch version might be scheduled in future.
Okay, you mean to say this is also based on the region wise?
Hello? Yeah, sorry.
Hello? Like you mean to say this is also based on the region wise. Whatever the region we select, it's depend upon the region wise.
Yeah, now if you see that the schedule, so when they are going to update, right? So
Yeah.
if you see this server, this particular server, to update with the latest version, the summer 21, the major version. Here we can see when they are going to update. So on this date, June 12th, for this server, they are going to update with the major version. Maybe if you open some other server for that, it might be in June only. I mean, it might be in July, right?
Okay.
There might be variation for a few weeks based on the servers. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So now here, just any other
Srini, it's basically like this version will update based on the servers, not based on the region, right?
yeah, it's not based on the region. Maybe Asia Pacific region, there might be 25 servers, right? So it's not
Okay.
guaranteed they are going to update based on the server.
Okay. Based on the server.
Okay. So now just we understood, we registered and just we are seeing what is the company information and what is the capacity of this organization and all these things. Now, so what are the where we can see those applications and so what exactly we need to work here. So let's understand those things. So for that, so once we log in, so next time let me log out and again log in, because what is happening, we are registering and we are opening this account. So next time again how we need to log in, so that also we should know, right? So to log in, so this is the unique URL for this organization, for this account. Okay, either we need to bookmark this one and open this and log in. Otherwise, in a generic way, to log into any production, the URL is login.salesforce.com. On day-to-day to log in, so we have to open this website, login.salesforce.com, and provide the username and provide the password. Okay, in companies, how exactly they follow the naming conventions and what will happen. So let me explain. So now if you go back here, so we have the production, and we should know that to log into this production, the URL is login.salesforce.com. Then someone is not in mute. Can you please stay on mute? Yeah. So now the username, in general, username will be the first name dot last name, right? Or it can be like, so we are giving something like this, st9.com. I think still someone is not in mute. Yeah. So this is a username. Let's say password. Some password is there. So like this, on day-to-day, we need to, even when we work for a project, to log into production, we need to open this website and we need to enter the username and password and log into the production. So now let's say this primary user and the other users, they started using. So there are different applications they can see. Let me log in now. Naveen@batch91.com. Right? So that's the, sorry. This is the username. Password sfdc@123. So that is the password. Click on login. So even though you know the username and password, right? Now you know, so what is the username and what is the password. Still you cannot log in. Okay, so there is a additional security. So when you try to log in from a new browser, so when you try to log, please give me 1 second. Hello, yeah, sorry. So if you see, when you try to log in to the Salesforce account from the new browser, even in my system also, if I try to open with some other browser, along with the username and password, it asks for the verification code. Verification code will be sent to the email address or the mobile number. If you see here you can set the mobile number. So when you set the mobile number, to that mobile number, it will send the verification code. But if you don't want, you can say I don't want. It is easy to get the verification code to mobile and check. So if you don't want to get to mobile, you can say I don't want to register. It will send to the email. Okay, so when you give that verification code, then only it will allow to log in. So maybe if some of you, if you try to log in, it asks verification code and which will come to my email address. You cannot log in. So anyway, I'm going to provide access going forward. After the demo sessions, I'm going to provide access to you. For now, if you try to log in, so just understand due to that verification code, you might not able to log in. So this is how now we logged in. Now where we can see the application. To see the applications, and also maybe before I explain about that, we should understand about some basic terminology. So let me explain about some basic terminology, right? With Salesforce, maybe some of you might be from other technologies. Salesforce, in general, we say object, we say project. So here one project is like one app. So let's say sales application, marketing application. Going forward, they want one application for invoice. So going forward, they want one application to manage the recruitment process. So each project is like one application. And in database perspective, all of us, we know about table, right? So if you want to maintain the data, so for example, Excel sheet, all of us, we deal with Excel sheet, right? One sheet is like one table. There we store the data, right? So here the table technically with Salesforce we call as object. Going forward, when I say object, you have to understand that it is a table. Okay, so that is one thing we need to know. Maybe to understand in a better way. So if you open this Excel, right? So let's say Excel is like a database. So we have Salesforce database. So Excel is like a database, right? So in that we can create multiple sheets, right? This is one sheet. So let's say campaign. All campaigns they store here, right? So let's say lead, right? So campaign table, we have campaign name, and so maybe budget. What is the budget, or how much they spend? So all those things they maintain the data, right? In the same way, lead, first name, last name, company name, and maintain the data, right? So let's say here lead first name, so last name, and email, company, right? Let's say so just something I'm typing. So like this, right? So when you have like this, so technically the table here we call as object, and in the table each and every row, right? These things we call as rows. Here row we call as a record. Call that as a record. And each and every column, right? First name is one column, last name is one column. So here columns we call as field. when I say field, you have to understand it is one of the column in the table. So it's like that. That's terminology wise, I think little bit different. So just going forward, maybe I'll repeat again and again. I'll say table and object. So I'll say row record like that for few sessions. But going forward, I'll say object. Object means it is a table. And also in the database table, maybe this is the Excel. Here we have UI. We can type, we can type and we can save the information. But if it is there in the database, so in general, what we do, we need to write the database commands. So we need to, if you want to get the data already present in the database, we need to query. If you want to alter the data, we need to use some DML statements kind of thing. But here, similar to this Excel, right? We have UI here. We can type and we can save, right? With point and click. In the same way, Salesforce, they are allowing us to interact with the database table from the web page. With point and click, we can look into the data present in the table. We can also create that record. We can also delete the record and all those things we can do. So for that, we have tab. So one of the option. So this tab is linked to an object, right? So when I say, when we say here, we are able to click this and open this compound, right? Here we are able to click on that and we are seeing the lead information like this. This one we call as tab in Salesforce. So when you click on the tab, the data present associated to this tab, whatever the table is there, that table data it will show. So that's what will happen. Okay, this is the basic terminology to understand. So now, so let me, we logged into Salesforce, and left side, if you want to access the applications, left side, you are seeing these dots. This one we call as app launcher. So going forward, I'll say app launcher. For now, since we don't know, right? So just to understand these dots, this part we call as app launcher. You need to click on this one. When you click on this one, it will show some apps. And whatever you are looking, if it is not there, we can click on view all, or you can also search here. So let's say I'm clicking on view all, app launcher. Here we have all the applications available. If you see, all these are the standard applications provided by Salesforce. So in general, we use this terminology, standard and custom. Standard means already whatever Salesforce provides, we call that as a standard. What we create, which is not provided by Salesforce, we call that as a custom. Okay, here whatever we are seeing, all these are the standard applications provided by Salesforce. Okay, here most important applications as part of the CRM. So marketing is one of the application, and the sales is one of the application, and also service is one of the application, right? So these are the things we discussed, and there are many other applications. So going forward, we'll see, but these are the most three famous standard applications which we use on day to day. So let me choose one of the application. Click on this application. So this is application, and if you see here in Salesforce, application is nothing but the collection of tabs, right? So we have Excel, right? So we can create multiple Excel files. So maybe I will save this Excel file as sales. I'll create one more Excel file. So it's like that. So here, the thing is here in Salesforce, application is nothing but the collection of tabs, nothing more than that. Okay, so now if you see marketing application, in marketing we have home tab, we have campaigns. Campaigns are nothing but the advertisements, right? Different types of advertisements. And the leads due to campaigns, the leads will be generated. So all these are the different tabs. So this tab, when you click on this tab, internally this tab is linked to campaign table, campaign object, right? It will try to bring the information from the campaign. So here, if you see these things, we call as views. Okay, instead of bringing all information from the database, it is only bringing recently viewed. But recently we did not see anything, so that's why it is not showing anything. So we have other views. These things we call as list views. For the standard objects, Salesforce, they provide some standard list views. These are some of the standard list views from Salesforce. So when you click on this all active campaigns, if you see, we're seeing a table. This data, we did not create the data, right? So as part of the developer edition account, whenever you register, to know that since we are new to this Salesforce, to know how the data maintained. So they are giving some sample data. So we are seeing that sample data here. If you see, this is the table, right? This is the campaign object. So here campaign name is one column, right? Start date is one column, but here we call this as a field, right? Campaign name field, start date field, like that we see. Okay. Now we are seeing this table. I can also choose one of the record. I can see particular record information. Okay, click on this one for that record. So what is the information available? It is showing here. So this is a campaign, and this part, whatever you see here, this one we call as highlights panel. And this here you'll see more details, all other fields information of the campaign in detail we can see here. Related means the child tables. So going forward, we'll discuss how we can relate, how we can make parent table, child table, all those things. So here related means all these are child tables for this campaign table. So that means for one campaign, there can be multiple records for each and every table. So you are seeing here, and many other actions you are seeing. Since we don't have time today, tomorrow I'll explain about all these standard applications, and the most important, tomorrow I will explain we should not directly work in production, right? Where we work, what is the sandbox, how we create the sandbox. So what is the process in most of the projects they follow. So as part of the Salesforce technology, what are the different roles we have? So administrator, when we call as administrator, when we say developer, when we say tester, right? End user, consultant, there are different roles, right? So all those things tomorrow we'll discuss, and also tomorrow I'll explain how I am going to provide access to all this material and the class account and all those things. Those things I'll explain tomorrow. But for today and tomorrow, I'm going to send this to the email. So some of you, if you are not receiving these notes to your email, just you can ping me in WhatsApp so that I'll include your email address and make sure to send this one. And also people are asking for recording. Yeah, so if you see here, I have added one recording here. Today when I send the notes, yesterday's recording you can see here. Okay, you can open this one and you can watch whatever we discussed yesterday. Today's recording, you will get it in tomorrow's notes. So it is like that. Okay, I mean for now, for these 3 days, it is like that. So later part, I'll send the email separately for the recording. So that's the thing. Tomorrow we'll continue and discuss the other topics and understand. Today, before ending, any questions, anyone? Any questions?
Srini, Adarsh here.
Yeah.
Srini, you can include my email ID for your batch list.
Yeah. So just please ping me in WhatsApp, and also please check in spam folder.
Spam also. Okay, Srini. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Any
hi
other
Srini,
questions?
Vijay here.
Hi.
So out of marketing, sales for applications, marketing and sales and services. So what we are learning here?
So mainly this we discuss about sales, marketing, and service, all the applications, and we are also going to create the custom application. The main part is how we create the custom application and how we create the application to understand. Okay. Any other
Uh,
questions?
Hi Shrinu, this is Devika. I've got a quick question. You create an account in Developer Edition, but we should be creating an account in developersalesforce.com. Am I right?
Yeah. So same. If you go here, we should also register here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And that is for your practice and the lifetime. So for your personal POC and whatever you want to practice, you can log in and practice in that account. Like that. Okay.
Okay, and for Developer Edition, you would be giving the access going forward.
Yeah, for the account, whatever I registered, for that also I'm going to give access, but that is only for reference, right? So if I
Okay.
create one application or object, how I created to see that only for reference purpose. But practice you need to do in your own account. Okay.
Okay, Shrinu. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes, Srinu, I have a question.
Yeah.
As you have told that Salesforce will be used for pre-sales and the post-sales, is it something like business to customer relationship like that, or else will we be developing something like web pages or web applications?
Yeah. So we are also going to develop. We can also develop any web application. So not only the CRM, marketing, sales, and the service, we can also develop the non-CRM applications. It's possible. So let's say for recruitment process. So to manage the recruitment process, we can develop the application, but which is not related to CRM, right? So maybe leave management application. Any web application.
The project would be like developing an application here.
Yeah,
Okay.
application, and as part of the application, what are the objects we use and how they are interacting with that application, how they are storing information, what are the validations we need to enforce. Is there any need to send email automatically? Is there any requirement to submit for approval? Right? So who can see which information? So all those things we deal as part of the administration. All those things we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other?
Srini, what is the difference between classic and lightning?
Yeah. So tomorrow anyway I'll explain. Okay. So since you are asking, so Lightning Experience is the modern look and feel. So classic until 2015. In 2015, Salesforce they introduced this Lightning Experience. So before 2015, the look and feel of the Salesforce applications and all this is different. That we call as classic. So when you see here, when you click on this one, it will switch to classic. So classic is the old interface, but mostly as part of this course, we deal with the Lightning Experience. Classic for few topics. So we switch to classic and understand few features. It's about the look and feel. And based on the classic and lightning, the features, whatever we see also will be different. We'll discuss those things. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Anyway, tomorrow I'm going to explain all these things. And after that, still we have questions, we can discuss and continue. We can continue tomorrow. Thank you.